Welcome to So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and I love holiday things. I love decorating with them, giving them as gifts, and I really enjoy making them. And what's even more fun is when they come to my door, so I don't have to think about what projects to make and what materials do I need. Annie's Holiday Quilters Club comes in the mail once a month and has great big holiday projects. I've made the big Halloween bags that come complete with lining, a decorative pillow for my bed, and I am working on some fall placemats. They're going to be big acorns. Well, today I did receive in the mail another package, and it is a Christmas table runner. And what I really like about the table runner are the Christmas trees are decorated with yo-yos. So join me today as I make my Christmas tree yo-yo table runner. The kit has come with this beautiful red, green, gold, and white sparkly fabric with this really fun polka dots. And we're going to make this table runner. The patterns are very well written and illustrated. It has the templates included and additional templates if needed. So for this particular one, we need to start with that nice white background, and we're going to applique on some Christmas trees. That beautiful white sparkly background is cut at 8.5 inches by 34.5 inches. From there we need to make trunks for the Christmas trees and our Christmas trees. And we do have the applique patterns. So we need to cut out 7 trunks and 7 Christmas trees. The directions have us making these trees with a fusible web. Fusible web is glue on a paper. So we have paper on one side and a sheet of glue on the other. We need to transfer the picture on the paper side. And we can see through it, so we're going to be able to just place it down and trace the shape. From here, we're going to take that glue side now and iron it on top of the back of the fabric. Fusible webs come in different strengths, so be sure to follow the directions. This particular one is going to use a dry silk iron, and I only need to press for 1 or 2 seconds. It's a lot easier if you leave a little bit of a seam allowance on the paper. So when this is fused down, we can then cut out the shape. If you find that paper is hard to peel off, there is a trick. Take the sharp point of the pin and just run it along the back of the paper. Push hard enough so that you cut that paper. And then with that little cut, it's giving you a little area that you're going to be able to catch that paper and peel the paper off. And you have that fusible glue now onto the fabric, and it's sort of like a sticker. The tree trunks are going to go on this background fabric first. We can evenly distribute them, and the directions do tell us to put the first tree stump at 3.5 inches. And then in between, each tree stump is going to be at about 8.5 inches. Until we get to the very end, we'll have another 3.5 inch, and that's on one side. From there, we're going to be able to place the tree trunks in between on the opposite side. So we will have 4 tree trunks on the one side and 3 on another. Once the trunks are fused down, we're going to be able to fuse down the trees. We will be adding a border around this, so we need to leave a little space at the top. And that really is a personal preference on the space that you do need to leave. We do need to leave at least 1/4 inch for the seam allowance. But I've decided for myself to add 3/4 inch. So I've added a 3/4 inch mark on the opposite side of each of the tree trunks. So that point is going to go right up at the top, and now I can fuse these on. So I'll have the 4 trees going in one direction and the 3 trees going in the opposite direction. Now I can just peel this paper off and fuse those trees on. So that's giving me enough room that I won't cut off the point of the Christmas tree. Once those trees have been fused on, we can do an applique stitch around, a blanket stitch, and in my case, I'm just doing a straight stitch. The tree size is 5 inches by 6.5 inches, so they're very easy shapes to applique on. Now we get to add on the borders. The borders are cut at 3 inches, so we will need the 2 long sides at 34.5 inches, and we get to sew those on first. Once those edges are put on, we can sew on a 13.5 inch strip, and that's all the borders we're going to need. As I've added the borders, I've pressed the seams going to the outside. The trees have a little bit of garland on them, so it's a little swoop from one side down to the other. We can stitch those on now, or we can stitch them on after. I'm going to add these on after so they can be part of my quilting. And we get to quilt the table runner. I have that polka dot fabric for the back, so I need to put my batting and my backing on and quilt all my layers together. I'm going to stitch in the ditch all the way around the outside and around each tree, and then I will be doing that garland. I also used a very, very thin batting. Now this batting is 100% polyester and there's absolutely no shrinkage. And I can leave a 9-inch distance for quilting. And the batting is from Hobbs. It's called Themore. With that polyester batting, it's going to wash really well. The quilting is done, and I have my little garland that I just did a satin stitch. And that helps hold all of my layers together. The kit came with the backing fabric and enough fabric to do the binding. So I'm going to put the binding on, and then I get to decorate all of my trees. And they have recommended yo-yos. We will have the gold yo-yos at the top, red yo-yos as decorations, and with some larger yo-yos along the side. These yo-yos are definitely going to add a lot of dimension to the table runner. To hand stitch those yo-yos on, the first thing I'm going to do is pin them from behind. This is still holding the yo-yo on, but my thread is not going to get caught on the ends of the pin. And just a simple whip stitch, picking up a little bit along the edge and go all the way around the yo-yo. The little red yo-yos started off with a circle at 2¼ inches. The little gold yo-yos started off with the circle at 2¾ The pattern does have 4 yo-yos running along each side, and the circles are starting off at 3¾ inch. I do have a video on how to make yo-yos, and I'll put a link in the description so you can refer back to it. I need to finish all my yo-yos and I'll be done. The table runner is now done and has all those great little yo-yos. This I will be keeping myself, along with the pillow, but I will be giving my grandsons the Halloween bags. I probably keep more than I give away, and I can't wait for next month to see what comes in the mail. Will I keep it or will I give it away? I'll put a link in the description to Annie's Holiday Quilters Club. And as always, thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.